Hey, welcome to Graphic Policy Television, GPTV. I'm Brad. In my hands is The Walking Dead Deluxe number 53. Now, The Walking Dead Deluxe is kind of a reprint of The Walking Dead, except colorized. Yeah, my original was black and white. This one is in color, going issue by issue, and out about every 2 weeks. So this is the last issue for 2022. It will return in January, I think on January 4th, 2023. Also included in these single issues are notes from Robert Kirkman from his, actually plotting out the original, and he gives his thoughts generally as to his original notes, which I think is really interesting. So, all right, up to this point, it's been kind of crappy these last couple issues. Rick and Carl kind of on their own. They bumped into Michonne after everyone had to scramble post-governor attack. Lots of members are dead. We don't know who's alive, who's not. At the end of the previous issue, Rick, Carl, Michonne bumped into Glenn and Maggie. So this is kind of a happy issue. We get a nice reunion with the whole bunch of people and to see who is still around and how they're doing. And I think the word for this issue is trauma. A lot of people are showing off their trauma. Rick is obviously still reeling. Herschel's kind of holding things together. Maggie has to go deal with the news of the death of her father. And then Sophia's there, and Sophia's clearly checked out from reality at this point due to the death of her own mother. So it's a lot of dealing with a lot of crap, but generally kind of a happy issue. But we also get three pretty key characters. We got Abraham, we got Rosita, and we got Eugene. They all show up towards the end. Are they friends? Are they foes? I mean, if you've read the series or watched the television series, you know the answers to this. But this is their introduction, and I have to say, I really, really like this issue. One, because, it kind of resets things and almost acts as a number one in many ways. But it also really kind of, again, focuses on the characters, which I think is key to the series, and shows that, events are really starting to catch up to them, that things are going wrong. But I also really like the Rosita, Abraham, Eugene aspect of it, because I think it's handled really well. It feels somewhat realistic. You've got a gun trained on them. Abraham and, obviously Eugene, Abraham, and Rosita aren't enemies. They're not there to cause trouble, so they quickly comply and drop their guns. But I think everyone kind of really tense, really kind of pulling their guns and doing you stay there, you stay there. It's just, to me, very, very realistic. The reaction is pretty realistic. The only other option would have been literally starting to shoot at them as soon as they showed up. That would probably have been is the other option, but that kind of would have been an overreaction. So as far as the introduction, to me it all seems pretty on the up and up in many ways. The other is I really kind of like Kirkman's notes. I think he kind of goes over things really interesting and describes the series. This issue is kind of a pivot of the series in many ways. And before it was just about survival, knowing about the characters, kind of getting a lay of the land in many ways. This is starting to give them a mission. They now have a goal, potentially a goal and something they need to achieve, which is a very, very different take than there was in previous issues. They had hurdles, they had things they needed to do, they had what I'll call quests, side quests, but there was no overarching quest other than to survive. So this is actually giving them a focus. They have a place to go, something to do, and we'll see who kind of joins up to go do that. So I think that's pretty cool to really point out, because it's something that I would have called it a pivot or something like that if I was reviewing this back in the day. Hell, I might have reviewed this back in the day. Art always continues to be great. I think the coloring is solid. There's a lot of yellows in this issue. It's a very brown yellow, I don't want to call it relaxing, but kind of a mellow tone color wise, if that makes sense. It's kind of interesting. So yeah, it's a good issue. And then yeah, it's a nice, it's a key issue, and I think important to really set the series off for the next its next direction where it's going. So now, I've said this I think in almost every single video. If you've never read The Walking Dead, you can experience this way, issue by issue, every other week. It's a cool way of experiencing it instead of doing it by trade. If you are a longtime Walking Dead fan, if you read in trade, read the single issues, it's a fun way to go back and experience again. I do think Robert Kirkman's notes are really interesting and add a little bit to, I'm picking up things and noticing things about his style and all that. And the other is it's also kind of reiterating my thoughts about a lot of issues, which makes me happy as well. So yeah, you can go get this now in comic shops. We have a link beneath this video. Put in your zip code, tell comic shops near you. No shop, no problem. We do have some links where you can purchase your own. They'll be likely affiliate links, so we do get a small percentage by doing that. You'll support our site, so thank you. But just watch our videos, support us. So thank you again. If you are into The Walking Dead, if you're into Skybound, Image, comics in general, check us out every single day at graphicpolicy.com. We're on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Tumblr, Instagram, TikTok, all at Graphic Policy, keeping it nice and consistent. So until next time, keep reading those comics and keep it geeky. Hey, thanks for watching the previous video from Graphic Policy Television. Just by watching, you help support our site. Thank you so much. Now, if you're watching these videos, you probably care about geeky things like movies, television, comic books, toys, games, video games, you name it. You can go and subscribe right now to our YouTube channel to stay in touch and catch all the new videos, or check out our website at graphicpolicy.com. There's a nice link on this end of the video. But as always, thank you for watching. Keep on rocking and keep it geeky.